Hi, welcome back. We are finishing up our identity project. This is going to be the last video. I'm going to show you a couple of things. For one, I'm going to show you what I'm looking for in the background, and then in the second part, I'm going to show you some ways to work with colored pencil. So in the background, what I'm looking for is something that's interesting and maybe repetitive even. In the example that I created, you can see that I did kind of this line that goes around my letters, and then it kind of has a rippling effect. So I just repeated that to go around the paper. And that just makes it a little bit more interesting. For this one, I'm just going to do some chevrons. So that's just zigzags. Oops. Well, I guess I'm going to do a diamond now. Sometimes you just have to go with whatever mistakes that you make. And I'll just continue this down. But what I really want to show you is how to blend with some colored pencils. So if I'm working with some colors here, so say I want to work on the flower here. What I'm going to do is called a scumbling technique. And scumbling is kind of like scribbling. I'm just kind of going around and around and around with my color. I'm not coloring up and down, I'm not coloring left to right. What I'm doing is I'm going around in a circle. And that kind of makes the colored pencils even on the paper. And it allows blending to take place. Then I'm going to take another color that's kind of similar. And I'm just going to scumble it on top of the other color. Only in certain areas though. And notice I'm going to push it into the other color a little bit, and that's going to help it blend. You can tell I'm kind of getting a nice change of color here. If I want to, then I can push it even a little bit further with another color. And that's just an easy way to blend colors with colored pencil. If you're doing something with marker, you can do that as well. When you're working with marker, what I recommend is that you keep all of your marker strokes in the same direction. So if I'm coloring this P, I'm going to keep them all left to right like this. And I do want to make sure I go all the way to my edge here. And I don't want to change my direction. I don't want to switch and go up and down, even though that is pretty tempting, because I'll be able to see those strokes, the change of directions with your marker. And that's not something that we want. So those are just a couple tips when you're adding color to make sure that it looks good, that has good craftsmanship. If you have any questions, you can rewatch the video or email me.